beyond the BS, what really works for perimenopause symptoms, your proven roadmap to thrive instead of just survive in perimenopause. By the way, in case you're wondering, perimenopause can last up to 12 years. So you may think, oh, I'm not in perimenopause, but you might be if you are 35. Like I'm seeing women go into perimenopause in their early 30s, but you could be in perimenopause in your early 30s. All throughout your 40s is perimenopause territory, and then up until you are in menopause, right? So it can last a long time. So this is probably for you. All right, so you are going to get some freebies at the end. I've got a hormone decoder cheat sheet. It's very, very important that you know your symptoms. If you don't know your symptoms, you are going to let yourself down because your doctor, a lot of doctors, just so you know, they're not trained in perimenopause, they're not trained in menopause. They don't get that training in medical school. And people don't know this, but it's true. And they don't get HRT training either. So your doctor has to choose to go and do further training, and most don't. So you really have to be your own health advocate. So you need that hormone decoder cheat sheet. I'll talk about why. There's an midlife blood work guide, which is IP. It's my intellectual property. I've been doing this a long time. You never go by what the lab range is from your lab. That's based on an unhealthy population. You need the functional optimal ranges, which I give you in that mid-work blood work guide. There's a protein cheat sheet because if you can't tell me how many grams of protein you are eating, you are not eating enough, guaranteed. And a magnesium decoded cheat sheet. So there's all these different magnesiums. Which one is right for you? So stay to the end and you will get those. Just in case you don't know who I am, my name is Tara, and everything I do is rooted in one unwavering commitment, which is to uncover and share the absolute truth in health. I am not here to follow the crowd, but to rise above the noise, to cut through the confusion, the marketing spin, the outdated systems, and the profit-driven narratives that too often lead women astray. I'm fiercely devoted to a higher standard and speaking boldly against misinformation, challenging the status quo, and walking a path of integrity. That's part of my mission statement. I am a holistic nutritionist. I'm a certified functional nutrition coach. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I'm a certified microbiome restoration center practitioner, and I'm the owner of Tara Thon Wellness. And I lead with heart, sincerity, and a relentless passion to serve. I've helped way more than 600 private clients. I've had more than 150,000 podcast downloads at this stage. We actually have to update that, Kim. It's probably way more now, and over 10 years of experience. I have a health journey. So my health journey, it started in my teenage years. I had horrendous acne, like really, really bad acne. And I was just put on Accutane, also known as Roaccutane. Then in my 20s, I started to get debilitating anxiety, sporadic migraines, PMS, sore breasts, mood swings, water retention. Then in my 30s, I started to have babies and I had postpartum thyroiditis. It's very common, but it happened after both kids. And I didn't really know what was going on, and the doctors were no help. So what I did was I began to learn ferociously. So I became a nutritionist. I deepened my knowledge in women's hormones, functional testing, gut health, blood sugar balance, the nervous system, BHRT, and more. And now at 46, I'll be 47 in June, I feel better, stronger, and fitter than I did in my 20s. Quite honestly, I really do. But I am human. I am a human being. So this is what my perimenopause journey so far, and I absolutely am in perimenopause, has looked like. So a little bit more oily skin and hair, that's just hormonal fluctuations that come with perimenopause. Hashimoto's, but no hypothyroidism. Now, this is very common in midlife women. It's very common for the thyroid to go haywire. So what happened to me is I had two viral infections. I had COVID and very quickly it was followed by influenza A. Very, very common. We're seeing a lot more thyroid issues now that COVID's on the scene. These kind of illnesses, they can do a number to the thyroid. But in midlife, it's a time when your thyroid becomes a lot more susceptible to damage. And also as your progesterone drops, your thyroid health can take a knock as well. I don't have hypothyroidism. I'm not on medication and my antibodies are very far down. I actually have to go and do another blood test because I know what to do. So I haven't got any symptoms from that. I do get some more regular migraines. This is due to a dip in estrogen. I won't go into it unless you want to at the end. I can answer questions. It's one of those things, yeah, you're genetically inclined or you're not. And unfortunately, these kind of migraines run in my family. There's not a lot you can do about them. But they have been much helped with BHRT, and once I'm through menopause, they should be completely gone. So let's jump into what you're going to learn today. So you're going to learn the biggest myths and lies holding you back from feeling better. You're going to learn a proven roadmap to reclaim your energy and confidence. You're going to learn how personalized solutions will work for you. They will work for you. You're going to learn how the perimenopause solution can help you implement what you need in order to feel better much sooner. And don't forget to stay until the end because you're going to get all those amazing freebies. All right, so yeah, and ask me all your questions at the end, right? Pick my brain at the end. I'm just making sure here, yep, we're all good. All right, so I just wanted to make sure Kim wasn't saying there was a tech issue or something going on. All right, so the myths and the lies. Let's get into them because again, this really is, I've been doing this work for a very long time and I am really peed off at what I see out there. It's getting worse. It's getting a lot worse in the social media space. So here are some of the myths and the lies that are keeping women stuck. Why are they perpetuated? Money, right? People want to write a book or they want to create a program around something. I think it's just awful. So excessive fasting. So excessive fasting. It is quite dangerous to do that for a midlife body. Your midlife body is already under a lot of stress. It's under stress because in midlife, there's a lot of things going on. There could be divorces, there's kids getting older, people are getting sick, there's parents getting older. There's a lot of stress in midlife, just circumstantially. But then your body is also under a lot of stress because your hormones, they're dipping, they're wavering, they're declining, and that puts a lot of stress on our bodies in many different ways. Metabolic stress, right? Physiological, even neurotransmitters. We're not as resilient to stress anymore when our hormones are fluctuating and dipping. Adding on fasting is like whipping a horse when it's down. It is not a good idea. And the only reason a lot of women are doing fasting is to lower their calorie count to lose weight. There are better ways to do this that aren't going to put your hormones into a tailspin. Okay. Parasite cleansing kits. Oh my goodness. It makes me so mad. These parasite cleansing kits, do not run out and think you've got parasites. This is absolutely nonsensical. What these genetic parasite cleansing kits are doing are damaging your microbiome. You probably don't need them, and they're filling the pockets of somebody, right? Too much cardio, not enough strength training. Listen, it's not negotiable. If you want to be fit and healthy and symptom free, and if you want to go into old age being independent with your waistline and your wits intact, because they rely on metabolic health, you must build muscle. You must lift weights. Okay. I cannot say that enough. And if you're just running on that treadmill like a little mouse, because you want to lose weight, but you're not lifting weights, you're missing a massive piece of the puzzle and you're shooting up your cortisol, making stress worse, breaking down the lining of your gut, because that's what cortisol will do. You're just going to have this domino effect of problems if you're go, 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 go with the cardio. Weightlifting is where it's at. Too much cardio can actually damage our bones and our hormones. So it's not that you can't do any, you can, absolutely. My motto for midlife women is protein and produce, walking and weights. That's not to say you can't do a little bit more than walking, but if you walk most days, if not every day, and you lift heavy, correctly and heavy, 3 days a week, 3 to 4, oh, huge big tick for now, eliminating your symptoms now and supporting yourself in the future. Then we have the mistake of incomplete testing or wrong testing or no testing at all. I'm going to dive into that in a bit more detail. Then we have the mistake of no calorie or protein awareness. One thing that really pees me off is that, again, I am a truth teller. I am no BS. I dive into the research, but there's a lot of people out there, they know that women don't want to hear calories in, calories out is the answer. I get it. We don't really want to hear that. What we want to hear is, oh, you have a thyroid problem. It's not your fault. Just take this medication. You'll drop all the weight. It's not how it works. It doesn't matter what is going on with your weight. It doesn't matter if you have a thyroid problem, low, high insulin, high cortisol, low estrogen. It always comes down to calories, and any practitioner saying otherwise is lying and doing so to sell a program because we want to be sold something a bit more sexy and that sounds a bit more easy. But I will never BS you. I'm not saying that weight gain in midlife is not a thing, and I'm not saying that hormones don't play a role. They do. If you want to know more, I can go further into this. I can explain to you why thyroid health does matter. Estrogen does matter. I can explain to you all about how to lose weight and keep it off. It's very simple, not always easy, but we can go into it. I'm just not going to go into it now because it's not a weight loss webinar. But at the end, if you want to know more, ask me all your questions and I will give you no BS answers that work. Generic supplements. How many of you here, put a little hand up, have all these supplements? Throw a hand up or go into the comments and write yes or me. How many of you have tons of supplements? I like to call it, I can see some hands going up, a supplement graveyard. Who has a supplement graveyard? I do. My husband said to me not long ago, I had the cupboard open up and he walks past and he was actually quite serious. He said, should we take insurance out on that? Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to make sure you're not just falling for the very shiny marketing out there. It's not your fault. It's very convincing, but you've got to be careful. A lot of these supplements are doing you harm or you don't need them, but you're spending $70+ a month on them. Some of these supplements are so ridiculous, honestly. So we'll get into that a little bit. And then thinking that hormone replacement therapy is a cure-all or avoiding it altogether. Both of those are big mistakes. We'll get into that. And you're trying to DIY your health, right? And you're expecting quick fixes. So nothing worth doing is easy or quick, but there are ways to get yourself healthy and stay healthy. There are ways to sustain that for the rest of your life with a bit of effort. And DIYing, never gonna work because we'll get into that one as well. Okay, I want to dive into this myth: incomplete, wrong, or no testing. So firstly, please understand hormone tests offer absolutely no help in perimenopause and they cause confusion like Dutch tests, urine tests, other kind of, saliva tests, even blood work for hormones. Don't think they're going to tell you if you're in perimenopause. They don't. They do not tell you if you're in perimenopause. I'm going to explain why. They'll gaslight you. These tests will gaslight you because you're feeling like crap. You know something's going on, and then you're going to a doctor or a practitioner. It's like, well, let's run an expensive, I have big issues with that. I think it's unethical, expensive $500 urine test or saliva test to see what your hormones are doing. That's ridiculous because this is what your hormones are doing. So look here, look at perimenopause. Look at your estrogen, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. One day, or even hour by hour, your estrogen might look really low, but then another hour it can look really high. And that's part of perimenopause. Estrogen does these fluctuations, and it's what causes a lot of your symptoms is the fluctuations of that estrogen. The reason it's fluctuating is because your ovaries are slowly petering out. They're slowly going to sleep, and your brain has sensed this and it's gone, whoa, we love estrogen. It protects our brains, it protects our bones, it makes us happy, it keeps us juicy everywhere. What are you doing, ovaries? Give us some more estrogen. So it screams at the ovaries, and the ovaries then go, oh crap, sorry, have some estrogen, and it goes all the way up, right? But then it starts to come down, 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 and then the brain goes, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, up it goes, right? So you cannot rely on a blood test. Now, progesterone, same thing. 1 month you may ovulate and you may make progesterone, and it might not be a lot because you're in perimenopause, but you may make some. But the next month you probably won't ovulate and you don't make any. But what if you tested on the month you made some? Even FSH, same thing. FSH swings around wildly. So please be wary of any doctor, any practitioner who's hanging their hat on any kind. I don't care if it's blood, saliva, urine. You cannot rely on hormone tests. They're going to gaslight you. It's going to make you feel crazy. You're not crazy. Your symptoms will never lie. Blood testing or hormone testing in perimenopause can. Hormone testing also gives zero root cause data. We don't know what your nutrients are doing. We don't know what your gut is doing, heavy metals, any of that stuff. Okay. And a good practitioner understands this. You're not supposed to. That's not your job, right? And a lot of women do say, well, there's a lot of different symptoms that they overlap. And whilst this is true, a good practitioner isn't confused by symptoms. We know what I like to call the slam dunk symptoms are. Okay, and again, I'm giving you my hormone cheat sheet at the end. You'll want to grab that because that's going to tell you what your symptoms, what your hormones are doing far more accurately than any hormone test. There are only two tests that provide answers so you can kick your symptoms and support your long-term health. This is the way that I work. I have found it to work incredibly well. I will change the way I work at some point when something else presents itself. It hasn't yet because I have seen all the different testing, all the ridiculous, nonsensical, waste of money tests, oat testing, food sensitivity testing, right? But the two tests that you, meaning all of you, because I don't even know what you're all here for. And I want to know, by the way, if you put your symptoms in the chat, I love to read why you're here. And you guys also can talk amongst yourself. That's what that chat feature's for. Talk amongst yourselves, chit chat, share what your symptoms and struggles are because you're all in the same boat. But I want you to know that no matter if your symptom is hair loss, skin problems, brain fog, raging anxiety, period issues, aches and pains, bloating, it doesn't matter. These two tests are never a waste of money and will always give you something to work on to fix foundational issues, which we all have. I also love blood work, by the way. Blood is phenomenal. These are the two tests, okay? So we've got the HTMA, that stands for hair tissue mineral analysis, and we have a stool test, okay? So this is one of the ways that I work that makes me very, very different to a lot of others out there who are spending their clients' money on really expensive and useless tests. Like I said to you, oat testing, food sensitivity testing, expensive urine and saliva tests. No, do not do those for hormones. If you're going to do anything, do blood because it's cheap, but still don't hang your hat on it. So there is always something to work on when it comes to nutrients and gut health. Always. There will always be something there. It's never a waste of time or money. And that really bothers me, seeing people's money get spent. This is not cheap work that we do here. These tests are not cheap and inexpensive. They're good quality. But what I really hate is when I see people out there using tests that I know are completely useless and they're very expensive. So again, this applies to you if you've got brain fog, if you've got anxiety, depression, sleep issues, fatigue, mood swings, insomnia, you name it. These tests will not fail you, plus blood work. You add blood work on and wow, do you have the recipe for success with HTMA, stool testing, blood testing, and a really good practitioner puts that together and goes, I know what's going on here. Okay, so nutrients, I cannot sing this from the rooftops loud enough. It's not super sexy, but it's truth. Nutrients power our cells. When our cells are healthy, we are healthy. Or when our cells aren't healthy, we aren't healthy. Cellular health is health, right? Keep your little cells healthy, you will maintain your health. So I can't overemphasize this. Nutrients run our entire body. Okay, minerals, amino acids, vitamins, our cells run on nutrients, our genes run on nutrients, our enzymes run on nutrients. You know, I have a lot of women who say, oh, I need to support my estrogen detox pathways. And they're on things like calcium D-glucarate, which is a nonsense waste of money supplement. We can get into it. Absolutely stupid supplement. Don't ever buy it. It's not doing what you want it to do, or DIM, oh my gosh, or I don't know, maybe they're on curcumin or milk thistle. That's not to say those things don't have a time and a place, but do you know what runs your pathways in the liver? Nutrients. So if you've got somebody saying to you, here's my liver health supplement to support estrogen detox, and it's got things in it that aren't the very nutrients that support they're called the CYP enzymes in the liver that help clear the estrogen, what are we doing? You start with the nutrients that power the enzymes that then start to tick properly to clear out your estrogen, right? Actually, we had a really good quality study, a really good quality meta-analysis recently that concluded that those who were taking a multivitamin, I don't really recommend a multivitamin, but the point is, replenishing nutrients, they reduced their cognitive aging by 2 years. They had improvements in memory, global cognition, and they also concluded that multivitamins was a safe tool to use without any adverse side effects. So we're starting to see the benefits of taking in nutrients, but don't throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Don't fall for the advertising online. Really think about what's going to be right for you. You need the custom multi, okay? I don't suggest a generic multi. You also can't get nutrients from food anymore. Don't make that mistake. Don't think I eat really clean, I'm good. No, you're not. And I'm telling you that because our soil is not what it used to be. Monocropping, poor farming practices has destroyed our soil. Where do our plants get the nutrients from that we then eat to get the nutrients from our plants? From the soil. Our soil is not as healthy as it used to be. So we have to eat so many more carrots to get the same amount of magnesium that our grandparents got from one carrot. There's a lot of data on this. So it doesn't matter how clean or good your diet is, you do have nutrient imbalances, you do have nutrient deficiencies. You need to do the right testing to figure out what it is. When you replenish those nutrients, the things that my women see, oh my goodness, they see hair starts to grow, skin starts to clear, brain fog lifts, mood improves. My ladies do not like to be without their custom nutrient, which I'm going to tell you about. Random supplements are completely guesswork. They're not in, you don't have therapeutic dosages in random supplements. Sometimes you have things in there that your body does not want and can do harm, right? We have to stop downplaying, even though it's not sexy, the critical importance of minerals, vitamins, and amino acids. They run everything. They run the show. So if you've not done a deep dive into your nutrients, you haven't even started to work on your symptoms or overall health. Okay, so I'm going to move on, I promise, but if you're one of those people who's like, I've tried everything, if you haven't done a deep dive by way of this test and blood work, you haven't done everything. I love blood work for a lot of different things. I love this test, hair tissue mineral analysis for minerals, because this test, it shows a 3 month long-term picture of your mineral status at the cellular level. Your body is going to push and pull minerals in and out of tissue. Hair is tissue. And it does that to maintain an optimal pH. And it all depends on your stress levels. It depends on your diet. It depends on your metabolic health, where your minerals are going to go. And we see it in this test. This test shows us, oh, the stress patterns we see on this test. We can see so much. And this is, again, a long-term look. Blood is a snapshot. It's a moment in time. It's just bing, that time you had your blood done. Not helpful at all. Please remember, minerals in blood, they're never going to look very different. They're always going to look pretty good, because if they don't, then you're in a bad way typically, right? Because the blood has to maintain a certain pH so we don't die. So your body will do everything in its power to push and pull minerals out of bone, out of tissue, out of teeth, etc., to keep that blood in the perfect pH, because minerals impact pH, so that that blood doesn't change. So your blood mineral levels will always look pretty good unless you've got a bit of a bigger issue. So we can't rely on blood for minerals, okay? Hormones cannot function optimally, by the way, when there's heavy metal overload. We do see heavy metals on this test, nutrient deficiencies or pollutants, because hormones, whether they're the hormones you put on your body or the hormones your body is making, they rely on these receptors. They're like little catcher's mitts on a cell. They catch the hormone's message and then throw it on. But these receptors aren't going to work properly if you don't have the right nutrients. These receptors rely on various minerals and vitamins to work properly so that your hormones can communicate, right? So don't think to yourself, I'm just going to slap on some estrogen. If you've got receptors that are deficient and devoid of various nutrients, that estrogen you put on your body can't even get thrown on to send its signal, right? So we need to degunk them as well. If there's pollutants, heavy metals, if you've got mold, we need to get in there and degunk them, because otherwise they can't throw the message. So nutrients are required for the hormonal communication in the body. Without healthy hormone receptors, even the best hormone therapy won't deliver the results you're looking for, okay? Don't waste your money on this kind of crap. Combo and perimenopause, menopause supplements, complete waste of money. What you want is a custom multi-nutrient, this kind of stuff and the herbs in here. No, maybe a placebo effect will ensue short term, but you're not doing anything to support your long-term health. You're not protecting your bones, your brains, your breasts, your cardiovascular system with these ridiculous supplements, okay? Total waste of money. So what you want is a custom made for you multi-nutrient tailored specifically for your body based on the blood work and the HTMA testing. So this is what we do. We create the custom multis for my clients. When we replenish them with this particular custom multi, like I said, women say to us, oh my gosh, I'm coming to the end of we call it a Vicon. That's the company it comes from. They say, we're coming to the end of our Vicon, my Vicon. I don't want to be without it because I feel so good on it. Can I just get one to bridge the gap before I do another HTMA? They love this because honestly, people don't realize how much they're suffering due to the nutrient deficiencies and imbalances. When you correct them, whew, your mind clears, your mood lifts, your PMS vanishes. It's quite amazing, but it's not sexy. So a lot of people don't talk about it, but I will. So how can you support your nutrients now though? What can you do starting tonight, today, tomorrow? Electrolytes. I give you recommendations in the resources that I'm giving you at the end, okay? So it is important if you're not on a supplement, get on an electrolyte, but I have ones that I recommend. So that's important. And also good quality salt. So you want to add salt to your food, to your water. Your adrenals need salt. If you've got low blood pressure, you need salt. And I see that a lot in women. So salt is very important, but you can just add a good quality salt to your food or to your water, and then also take an electrolyte as well. The ones I like are higher in potassium. That's more important for your heart health. So you could do those two things. Taking a B complex is fine. Like there's a couple of you just want to get a good quality brand. Jarrow Be Right or Thorn. There's some good professional brands that you can get. A B complex, just to tick that off, is a good idea. And yes, a magnesium as well. Now, magnesium isn't going to work in isolation. Magnesium needs to be balanced with calcium. It needs to be balanced with sodium, potassium, boron, B6. It's a bit more to the story. So a lot of women just take magnesium, but it doesn't go where they want or think it's going to go. It's supposed to be going into the cell, but instead it's getting flushed out of the body because you need to balance it. If you take a B complex with your magnesium and you take a salt and electrolyte, that's going to help that magnesium retain inside the cell and not get rinsed out of the body, wasting your money. That's why those four things together, they work synergistically. Is it as good as getting the testing and getting optimized therapeutic dosages and putting in the other trace minerals that aren't on here? No. Is it a good start? Absolutely, right? But don't go and grab TUDCA and NAC. Gosh, don't do that, especially if you've got gut issues. Or combo perimenopause supplements. Just get the basics, okay? So that's what I'd recommend for now. Now we're going to jump into gut health. It is so, so important. I cannot overstate this. You can have a very unhealthy gut, even if you have no gut symptoms, okay? And you cannot eat your way out of gut issues, okay? So keep that in mind. I had a client and she came to me, she had very, very high fasting blood sugar. She had histamine issues, allergies, itchy eyes, sneezing, runny nose, dry skin. She had no reported GI symptoms at all. Nothing, no bloating, no gas, no heartburn, nothing. However, her gut was playing a major role in all of those symptoms. Fatigue is a big one. Your gut health is playing a role in your fatigue, anxiety, low mood, gut. She had major gut problems when we tested her, and her blood sugar issues and her histamine issues in particular were coming from her gut. And she didn't know it because she didn't think she had a gut issue. Right? Another client had major hair loss. She had fatigue, aches and pains, and she had huge amounts of this inflammatory molecule called LPS and very low amounts of the anti-inflammatory molecule called butyrate. And that's just going to cause all kinds of symptoms not related to the gut. So don't think you do not need to look at your gut because you don't have gut issues. It's not the way. Gut health also declines as we age, right? And inflammation, it comes from the gut. It's because of the byproducts that your bacteria are making, they're either making inflammatory byproducts or they're making anti-inflammatory. And unfortunately, most people's guts are making more of the inflammatory and less of the anti-inflammatory. And what we have to do when they work with us is balance that out so that we're making more of the anti-inflammatory, less of the pro-inflammatory. So an aging gut affects nutrient absorption, right? You're not going to absorb your nutrients as well. You're going to generate inflammation, damage your overall health. Pathology of many diseases stems from the gut, from Alzheimer's, cancers, you name it. You have to work on the gut. Poor gut health worsens brain fog, fatigue, mood issues, sleep issues, even hair growth, skin, pain. It impacts everything. And our sex hormones maintain the integrity of the gut lining. So when they drop, the gut lining weakens and it increases a leaky gut. The risk for having a leaky gut, which is a risk factor for a lot of different things. Hormones also support your bile production, right, which is essential for digesting your fats, preventing SIBO, for detoxification, for absorbing fat-soluble nutrients. Your hormones impact that because they impact your bile, right? People don't put these two things together. Then you've got testosterone. As that drops, your immune function drops because something called secretory IgA in the gut drops. So really don't make any mistake. Your gut is playing a role in your health, whether you know it or not. Okay. Okay, so the right stool test matters. I get very passionate about this because most people are not running the right stool test. So the stool test you use will make or break your results. Only one that shows you must only rely on one that shows butyrate and LPS. Those two and other metabolites are important as well, methane, hydrogen sulfide. If you've run a stool test and you've not got butyrate, LPS, methane, hydrogen sulfide, it's a dud. Okay. We need to also see the entirety of your microbiome. Most of the stool tests out there and the popular ones, they have a snapshot, a handful of bacteria, not helpful. They're also focused on pathogens. They're focused on killing. One of the ways that makes me very, very different to most out there is that I do run the proper stool testing. I run gold standard stool tests. I am very well trained in the microbiome. I know how to sort out dysbiosis. It requires insights, not just a probiotic off the shelf. That'll never work. Changing your diet and grabbing a probiotic isn't going to shift that microbiome. We need to strategically use pre and probiotics, dietary tweaks, sometimes a little tincture, but one that's not going to damage the microbiome. Specific foods, other supplements too can be brought in. By the way, don't go anywhere near berberine or oil of oregano. If somebody is using berberine or oil of oregano, in like in the capsules, a little tincture of oil of oregano can be different, but the capsules of oil of oregano are so damaging. And to me, it probably tells you that they don't fully understand the microbiome because those things annihilate the good bacteria. So a bottom line is a healthy gut underpins everything. Every symptom can be tied back to the gut. Disease starts in the gut. We know that. Gut health work is never a waste of time or money. So how can you support your gut now? If you can't run out and do a really good quality stool test and work with somebody who understands the microbiome, what you can do are these steps. Incorporate fermented and whole food soy 2 to 3 times a week. It is very beneficial for your gut health and very beneficial for your hormonal health. It's breast cancer protective. Don't listen to anybody who tells you otherwise or tries to fearmonger you that soy is not protective. It is very good, just 2 to 3 times a week though. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily or more. Very good for your breast health, very good for your estrogen clearance, very good for your gut health. Increase your intake of blue, black, purple foods. These are polyphenols. They do special things in the microbiome that other foods don't. Get them in every single day. Focus on a diversity of produce, right? You need to get different kinds of produce. If you're eating the same fruit and vegetables every single day, you're not going to feed different bacteria. We want diversity of gut bacteria, not just feeding the same guys every day. That will produce dysbiosis. You want to reduce or eliminate alcohol entirely, reduce your saturated fat. It's not a healthy fat. It damages the microbiome, let alone your cardiovascular health. That's not to say you cannot have it, but do not be frying your stuff in lard or adding butter to your coffee. This stuff is absolutely nonsense. It's another way the wellness industry just took a left turn completely off track. It's not healthy, okay? Cook in extra virgin olive oil, don't cook in ghee or butter, and that will protect your gut health and your cardiovascular health. Avoid unnecessary supplements, TUDCA, NAC, bitters, taurine, unless specifically advised by a professional who knows what they're doing. These can feed undesirable bacteria, which can lead to bloating, inflammation, stinky gas, and pathology as well, right? Increased risk of disease. So be careful with those kind of sulfur supplements. Drink matcha if you can tolerate it. So good. It's got a multitude of benefits for the gut, from being anti-yeast, anti-candida, biofilm busting, antioxidant, supports good bacteria. Matcha is awesome. Try to get half a teaspoon to a teaspoon in every day. And you want to replace your natural hormones because they support your gut health. So let's talk about hormones now. Now, I just want to start out by saying that those of you who might be scared of BHRT, hormones are life supportive. They are a longevity strategy. We are living longer than ever before, but our ovaries have not gotten the memo, right? They've not caught up yet. And if we don't replace our hormones once they get low in perimenopause, don't wait for menopause, we leave our bones, our brains, our hearts at risk. We are at increased risk of dementia, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and more. So remember, I'm going to give you a hormone imbalance a cheat sheet and BHRT cheat sheet too at the end, so stick around. But BHRT is not going to work on its own. That's very important. A lot of women just want to do the shortcut, quick, inexpensive, I'll just get BHRT and cross my fingers, and they're sadly disappointed. So we'll get into that. First of all, estrogen, the queen bee, responsible for your energy, your mood, your libido. Many women don't know that. Beautiful skin, hair, sleep, brain function, heart health, bone strength, vaginal health, femininity. Progesterone, estrogen's calming BFF, helps you get to sleep, eliminates anxiety, controls the stimulating effects of estrogen. If you have heavy periods, you will fix them with enough progesterone. Protects your bones, brains, heart, gut, supports your thyroid, and so much more. Testosterone is the unsung hero who gives you strength and motivation and energy and libido, protects your bones and supports muscle mass. It also protects against breast cancer, very not known, but very true, and supports gut health and your pelvic floor. And we've got to talk about thyroid too. Thyroid is the quiet powerhouse that fuels your metabolism, keeps your energy steady, supports mood, regulates temperature, protects your heart, helps maintain a healthy weight, supports libido, focus, memory, and more. So BHRT is important, right? So I hope I've convinced you of that. If you came here not sure, I hope I've convinced you it's very important, but it's not going to work on its own. And I already told you about the receptor health, right? If you have got poor receptor health, BHRT ain't going to work. Also, if you're inflamed, inflammation stops the communication of your hormones. Where does inflammation come from? I told you guys, I did a big long spiel. Where does inflammation come from? It comes from the gut. Okay, that's why doing the nutrient work with the gut work, bringing in the BHRT, that's the recipe for success. Inside the perimenopause solution, you are gifted as a huge bonus my course called HRT Made Simple. And this course goes into everything you need to know about safe, effective HRT. But you know, I'm also there to talk, and Michelle too, where we know a lot about HRT, right? Because HRT is not a set it and forget it process. So many docs, again, they do not have training in perimenopause, they do not have training in menopause, they do not have training in HRT. They have to seek out that training, like I have done. So what they often will do is they'll give you a script and they'll give you one dose and be like, best of luck to you. And you're left trying to figure it out. And unfortunately, BHRT often, you don't just often take it and you're great, everything's improved. Often there are symptoms that come along that often don't mean much. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you have to tweak your dose up or tweak it down. So one of the biggest perks is that you've got Michelle and we guide you along your BHRT journey. We know hormones. We know them very well. You'll never have to wait days or weeks to get guidance, right? You just you've got direct access to us. So you direct your questions to us and we troubleshoot that BHRT with you. And again, you do need that BHRT cheat sheet and hormone cheat sheet at the end, because that's how we work with our ladies to help them monitor what's going on, what needs to be tweaked, etc. So as I've said, it's a powerful tool, but it's not the only tool. You cannot BHRT your way out of a crappy diet or lack of sleep or lack of exercise or high stress. And nutrients and gut health play a critical role in supporting those hormone receptors so your hormones that you bring on board and make yourself can even communicate properly. Um, and yes, so there you go. BHRT must be combined with correct diet. Balancing blood sugar is huge, very important. Proper movement, stress management, sleep, comprehensive gut and nutrient work, a customized supplement plan. And yes, there's many bumps in the road with HRT. It's just not normally a smooth sailing process. So you kind of want to have someone by your side. Okay, wow. So here's what you've learned so far. You have learned about proper movement. You've learned how to support your gut health properly. You've learned why BHRT is important, but it's not the answer on its own. You've learned what the right testing is and isn't. You've learned why nutrients are imperative. And I assume many of you are doing a lot of this. I'm just going to have a little sip of my water. I want to know in the chat or throw a hand up. I think a lot of you are probably doing a lot of this already. Are you? Let me know. No? Yes. I know you are because you guys are smart. Yeah. So you might be wondering why isn't it working, right? So I'm going to dive into why it's not working. This is where I'm going to talk a little bit more about my program. You can jump off if you'd like. And if you do that, thank you for being here. A heads up at the end, I'm giving out those cheat sheets and I am doing a live Q&A. I am going to talk about a very large discount you can get working with me. And just so you know, if you're in Europe or the UK, America, New Zealand, it doesn't matter where you are, we can work with you. So don't rule yourself out. A lot of women do that. A lot of women think we can't work with them because they assume I'm in Australia and I can only work with Australians. No, most of the ladies I help are in North America. Michelle's located in London. We have ladies in the UK. We have people in Europe. We have people in all different parts of the world. Okay, so let's have a little chat about why what you've been doing hasn't actually been working. So DIY. It has and it will continue to fail you. I'm sorry, I'm not going to BS you. And I get it. You're trying to save money. You're trying to be resourceful. You're trying to take charge of your health. And it's very commendable. You're looking at Instagram posts and reading blog posts and listening to podcasts and you're trying to piece it all together, but you're still here and you're still spinning your wheels and you're going to be spinning your wheels in 6 months' time. I'm sorry, but it's true. And it's true because it's not your job. You are not an expert in the human body just because you live in one. And that's not your fault. I have been studying this stuff for years and years, and I don't stop studying. I never will because nobody could know it all. The human body is so complex. And if you've been trying to do DIY, you're relying on guesswork. You haven't done the right testing. You haven't done the HTMA, a good stool test. You haven't done bloods. And you're probably wasting your money on those supplements in the supplement graveyard. They don't have therapeutic dosages. They're herbs when you haven't even fixed your nutrients that are the foundations of our enzymatic pathways. It's all guesswork. And this is why it's failed you, right? And I get you've been trying to do your best to figure it out. Again, I do commend you on that. And I commend you for being here. But without the right tools and guidance and expertise, it feels so overwhelming, right? And it isn't working. And that's because perimenopause, it brings a lot of these complexities and changes to the body that generic solutions can't solve, right? Yeah, take my perimenopause combo supplement, it won't work. Okay. And I know that's why you're here. You know there's a better way. And so my program called the Perimenopause Solution, it's a proven system. It's not just a program, and it's not a group program, by the way. I'm going to tell you more about that. But it's designed to get you back in control of your health and teach you the things you need to know for the rest of your life so you can fall back on them. And then, maybe you're not just DIY. Maybe you've tried working with a lot of practitioners, a couple, one or two. I get a lot of ladies like this who come to work with me and they've worked with a lot of different practitioners. Why have they failed you? Well, listen, a big one that I think I've harped on enough about, but I just want to touch on again, they're not trained in the microbiome. And gut is everything, absolutely everything. And if they haven't even looked at the gut, then what the hell are we doing? But if they've done a stool test and it's mainly one of those pathogen killing tests, they're not trained in the microbiome. And I want to be very clear that just because somebody can order a stool test doesn't mean they know what they're doing, doesn't mean they've done a deep dive and learned about the microbiome. Functional medicine doctors can order whatever they want. It doesn't mean they're not trained in this, right? So again, they end up doing a lot of killing protocols, which ultimately can make things worse, not better. So they're using the wrong testing. Maybe it's not just the stool testing. Maybe they're running Dutch tests or urine tests, saliva tests or oat tests or food sensitivity tests. Completely unhelpful testing. Or, and let's be honest, they're spending more time and more money on marketing than diving into the research. And I'm sorry, I see this. I see them parroting what others are saying because they're not doing their own thinking and their own research. I am so skeptical. I believe almost nothing I see online because there's a lot of crap out there. I do my own research. That's what makes me very different. I dive into that research. I do my due diligence. I pay money to mentors. I'm constantly doing diplomas because a lot of these practitioners are more invested on their marketing and building up an empire than spending the time on the research. And it takes a lot of time, that research. So why a lot don't really do it. But when you work with me, it's very, very, very different. So here are some of the tactical reasons why. So unlimited messaging, unlimited. And again, we work with women all around the globe, so don't count yourself out. Unlimited messaging with me and my team practitioner, Michelle, two brains across your case. Where on earth do you get two people looking at your case when you work with me? So that messaging is private messaging. It's a 6-month program. You're with us for 6 months. Why? Because you cannot hope to change things in a month or two. And we're doing the testing and the protocols. And what we also do is we tweak the protocols as we go along, and that takes time. It's not a set it and forget it process. No way. So you get unlimited messaging support. Most programs out there give you generic guides, right? A resource for digestion or something, but not in TPS. We are not cookie cutter. We give you fully customized advice for you and your body based on your symptoms and your lab work. Everything we do is backed by evidence and research, and the way we do gut testing is very different. Okay, we take that advanced approach. We offer you that unlimited support and that unlimited access and real-time coaching. So you're never, ever going to be left guessing, my friend. You're never going to be left guessing or struggling alone. You get constant contact, pivoting, tweaking of your health plan based on how your body is responding. This level of support is very, very rare. But my only concern is your success. And the only way we're going to get success is if we talk constantly as you're doing the protocols, because I might stop something, tweak something, bring it up, bring it down, bring something else in, right? So the support is second to none. You can't get more support. And it's not cookie cutter. It's 100% tailored to you and your body. So, I have noticed over the years, again, I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I'll be damned if I don't speak the truth because I've been in this industry a long time. I'm really sick of what I see out there. You are my priority. My clients getting the best, most amazing results is my priority, not pandering to other health practitioners' feelings. So I'm going to call out the BS. And I speak out against it because I know the truth. I don't blindly follow experts or people online with big accounts or get my information from a book. I get it from the research. I dive into the research. I think critically. I ask questions. I pay to work with trusted mentors who are experts in their field. I don't tell you to stick coffee up your butt or buy a generic parasite cleansing kit that lines my pockets, right? Or do cold plunges or fasting, for which there's not good evidence for midlife women, right? And so I will always, that's a promise to you, I will always bring you the best, most up-to-date evidence, and I will never BS you, okay? Now, in TPS, we've got 7 pillars. The way we do these pillars is different for everybody because we need to do them in the way that suits you. We're going to do the comprehensive testing, diet optimization, movement, stress management, sleep recovery, custom supplements, BHRT. We're going to do it all, but they're not just about balancing hormones, right? These things about a general better life for you, kicking your symptoms, no matter what they may be now, so you can live symptom-free by the end of the program. 6 months or so, you will be feeling better. But also, this is the way that you can actually learn things to implement for the rest of your life, because I'm hoping you have a very, very long life ahead of you. But you need to understand how to support your body long term. So it's more than just about balancing hormones. It's about, building more confidence again, remembering things again, remembering why you walked into a room, right? Being intimate with your partner again, feeling confident in your own body again, maybe for the first time in years, setting you up to thrive instead of just survive now and beyond. Because let me tell you, if you don't make some changes now, they don't get better on their own. Things tend to get worse. I have women who come to me in their 60s who didn't do these things in their 40s or 50s, and they're struggling. They're struggling, and it takes a lot longer to walk it back. Don't let that be you. All right. And I do understand that many of you have probably joined a lot of programs or one or two programs out there and you've gotten burned. I get that. And maybe you've gotten burned, you haven't gotten the results. Maybe you've jumped on the group coaching calls, but they didn't have much time for you. This doesn't happen in TPS, okay? I want to be very clear. Our coaching calls are very small, very intimate, and we will not stop coaching you until you have your answers, until you feel better. And there is a guarantee I'm going to tell you about. And we do private calls. We don't just do group calls. We do private calls with you. Okay. And I know that in some groups you ask a question and you just get told, go and look at this PDF in the portal. Best of luck to you. That will never happen in TPS. We hold your hand, we guide you, we give you the protocol, but it's not crickets afterwards. We give you the protocol and we encourage you to stay in very close contact to us. Okay. We give you that unlimited support. And these are the types of things, in my experience from seeing what else is out there, that makes this program very different. So here are the nuts and bolts of what you get for private, no one else, just you and me. If you're in the UK, it's usually you and Michelle, private one-on-one coaching sessions, comprehensive blood work review. You get your HTMA and your gold standard stool test, plus a video of your results, an explanation, a protocol. This is what's all included. It customized supplement diet plans, unlimited tweaks to these, unlimited private messaging support. Plus there's a group you can go in as well with other ladies as well if you want to. Unlimited refinements to your health plan. There's a perimenopause wellness vault, which I'll tell you about briefly. There's weekly group calls, 26 in total, and direct access to me and Michelle. The first call is scheduled as soon as you sign up. Okay, so you sign up, you schedule in that call. We'll do a comprehensive review of your symptoms and your health history, what you've previously tried, your diet, and more. And we'll create the customized plans made for you. And then we'll do private reviews of your testing with you, the blood work with you, all your questions are answered, all your concerns. We give you private guidance on BHIT, right? And your updates to us really provide us information for plan refinements. If you want to do CGMs, if you want to do macros, we can do all of that. That really, we can do anything you want in this program. Okay, you get the HTMA, like I said, you get the gut testing, like I said, and also blood testing. So we tell you what to get, where to get it. You might have some already. I do all the blood work reviews. I'm a blood work nerd. Where I have the functional optimal ranges. So this is the kind of testing we do. By the way, if you need other testing, I have access to it all. We run a lot of SIBO tests on our ladies, mold tests. Oh, it's hot here in Australia. Very humid. We do mold testing. We have access to other tests if we need them, but we start with the foundations. And then there's the perimenopause wellness vault. Listen, this isn't just more information. It's not something you can grab from ChatGPT or Google, right? I don't know if you know, but AI hallucinates. That's the technical term. So in other words, it makes mistakes. So you cannot always trust what AI is telling you. So this in the perimenopause wellness vault, it's personally vetted by me. It reflects over a decade of clinical experience, mentorship, deep dives into the science, research, right? It is continually updated as new evidence research emerges. So I've done the heavy lifting for you. I've cut through the noise, cut through the marketing hype, and I'm only keeping what's truly evidence-based in this portal here. And we've applied this information in real life settings as well with real women to actually confirm what works. So this is practical, tested, trustworthy information you will not find online or via ChatGPT. This is a gold mine of resources designed to guide you through your midlife journey and beyond. Take this stuff with you, download it, keep it, right? There's also you can listen to it like an audio book as well. Think of it like your own personalized custom ChatGPT for midlife women that you can actually trust. All right, exclusive bonuses. You get my HRT Made Simple and my Hair Loss Solutions Made Simple courses for free. That is huge value, as you can see. I have a lady going through the hair loss course at the moment. Her eyes are so open. We're having such great dialogue, her and me, because she's realizing what she thinks her hair loss is from, and we're working together to fix it at the root cause level. The HRT course is an absolute gold mine, right? It can be very overwhelming out there. You get your answers in that, but you also have access to me and Michelle as well, right? 41 curated, specifically curated strength and conditioning instructional workout videos made for perimenopausal women, because if you are not lifting weights, we will be kicking your butt to do that. All right, getting to the end, thank God, because I'm really hot. This is personal. What do I mean by that? I think I've said it a few times now, but the perimenopause solution is not cookie cutter, right? It's not a plan that you're just given and left to figure out on your own. It is high touch, fully personalized, and it is built around you. You get unlimited support, direct access. If something isn't working, we don't make you wait weeks or months to adjust or to book in with us or pay us more money. No, we're there for you every day. And we pivot quickly and we make the right tweaks and we keep moving forward together. And because we're in constant contact, that's how that plan of yours will evolve with your body and how you're experiencing things and with your life, your own life, which is different to the next lady's. And it gives you that confidence and that support that you're never going to be left second guessing, right? You're always going to have us in your corner. Just whip out your phone, because you can literally message us from your phone any day. There's no limit, right? We hold your hand, we take the reins, we do the thinking for you. Stop trying to figure it out. I know you're driving yourself insane trying to figure it out, because it's a lot. It's not your job to do this. Just quickly, I want to tell you about Wendy. She joined the Perimenopause Solution after decades of severe constipation, daily bloating, brain fog. For over 15 years, she bloated after every meal, often looked 9 months pregnant. After menopause, she slept no more than 2 to 3 hours a night for nearly a decade. 16 years earlier, her constipation became so severe she was hospitalized for 6 weeks without a bowel movement. Nothing worked. She was told she had IBS. But inside TPS, we did the root cause approach, right? We did the right testing. We got her gut working, brought on board the nutrients, the hormones, and a huge win was her constipation improved, which she described as massive. Her sleep became the best it had been in years, and most remarkably, her bloating almost completely disappeared. In her words, this is the first time in literally years that I haven't felt uncomfortable or looked pregnant. Amazing. I have a lot of testimonials. I didn't want to put them all through here and waste your time. If you want to read testimonials, Kim has got a link to the information page. Kim, you can put that up. Ladies, tons of testimonials if you want to go read them. I want you to know though, and we're nearly at the end, this is a way of life, okay? It's a lifestyle transformation that fits seamlessly into your day, helping you to feel your best, minus the overwhelm of trying to figure it all out on your own. You don't have to find time for TPS. That's not what this is about. This is your new normal. This is your new lifestyle. It's not like, oh, I just got to find time for TPS. No, you have to find time for you. This is just your lifestyle now. That's what we're teaching you, is a lifestyle. To recap, you get the 7-step framework, expert guidance for 6 months, at-home lab testing included, blood work reviews, 4 private coaching sessions, unlimited private messaging support, support in the TPS community as well, unlimited refining of your personal health plan as we move along, access to the Perimenopause Solution private community and content-filled wellness vault, weekly, 26 weekly group calls, plus the private calls with us, and all the bonuses. And we work with women around the world. I just want you to stop and think. I'm going to tell you the price next. I'm going to tell you the guarantee next. But I want you to stop and think about how long you've been trying, spinning your wheels, DIYing. What is the cost of that? This is a question only you can answer for yourself. But if you've been working with other practitioners who promise a big promise but don't deliver, the way I work is so very different. All right. And I don't want to belabor the point, but it's because I've seen what's out there and I'm quite sickened by it, to be honest. With people that are more interested in their bottom line than diving into the research and spending the time on their client cases. And it takes time, right? Learning, reading, researching. And so many don't do this, and it's costing you dearly. And doctors don't have time, right? But I cannot help you if you don't make a decision. I can't help you. There's only so much free information I can give out, and I try to give it out. But, you know, if you don't make a decision and show up for yourself and take that step forward, there's only so much I can do. And it's never going to be tailored to your own unique physiology. So you've really got to decide, where do I want to be in 6 months? Do I want to be in the same place? Do I just want to give this DIY another shot? Because I promise you it won't work. It's not your fault, just because you haven't got the right data or the right, training. So really think about where you want to be in 6 months from now, because you can be in a completely different place. Limited time offer and guarantee, $500 off only until March 28th. There's the price there. Um, I think I've gone into why this is so different. The gut work we do, microbiome expert, 10 years of knowing what works and what doesn't, no useless testing, no wasting your money, right? Deeply trained in blood work. I see patterns most doctors don't even recognize. Unlimited support. We do not stop until you get results. With that in mind, we have a guarantee. After the 6 months, if you have diligently applied the TPS program and still haven't achieved the results that you want, we will provide an extra 90 days of coaching within the TPS membership completely free of charge. Okay. Now, book a call with me. So, first things first, Kim, you can put up the link where they can read the testimonials. Kim, you can also put up just the checkout page for the women who are like, no, I'm good, I'm in, let me go. Because you can start today, ladies. Once you join, you're going to get an automated welcome email and you're going to be brought into the TPS community, and Kim's going to send you the link where you can book your call. We get the ball rolling. So if you're ready, Kim will put the checkout page up. If you want to read testimonials, she'll put that page up. If you want to talk to me, you can. I have unblocked my calendar this morning. It will fill up real quick. If you want to talk to me, do not do this if you're not serious. Please don't waste my time. This is for the woman who's like, I'm pretty much in, just have a couple of questions. Kim, please put up my link, but I would recommend you book that today because those spots fill up. And I have just this morning opened up those spots, okay? But they're only available till March 26th. So they're obviously not on the weekends. I don't work on the weekends, but you can book in. I'm not sure if I have any spots tomorrow, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my time at least next week. There's spots now, but they will fill up. So book your call immediately if you want to do that. Okay, payment plans are available. Kim's given you all the links. Let's go to Q&A. Kim's probably given you the freebies now too. I'm going to have a sip of water and then let's chat. Okay. All righty. Where should I go, Kim? Should I go to the Q&A? I'll go to the Q&A first. I wonder if you guys want to, maybe I'll take this off so you can see me better, not just this little tiny dot. Although if I mess with the tech, I might mess things up, knowing me. All right, let's have a look. What do you say to women who are on the contraceptive pill or the Mirena and are considering hormone replacement therapy? Some women believe or are told that they are adequately covered. So I personally would never personally choose to be on any synthetic hormone because they are not the best. How do I say this? Progestins are synthetic progesterone. It's not a progesterone. You're not taking progesterone. It is not benefiting you. It is eliminating some symptoms, but it is causing harm to other areas of your body. So if you're perimenopausal and you're taking a progestin for things like heavy periods that can be overcomable by natural progesterone, then why would you do that when the progestins have been found to be harmful? So yeah, I don't recommend synthetic progestins at all. I would recommend switching to hormone replacement therapy, natural bioidentical. Would yoga be considered a weight-bearing exercise? No, it's good. Yoga's great. It's wonderful. It's good for stress reduction, but no, it's not going to support your bones. It's not going to support your metabolic health. And supporting your metabolic health is supporting your health long term, right? Your risk of osteoporosis. It's not going to help with that. So it's great, but it's not. No. Do we get copies of the slides too? No. What can order HT stool test family doctor me? Me. That's what I do. I recently did an extended mineral and nutrients blood work panel through Function Health, and my iodine was out of conventional range low. I was curious if you can expand on your statement that minerals always typically look good on blood weight. Well, not necessarily. Listen, iodine should be done in a urinary iodine test, not blood, for one. So no, I can't expand on that because I don't think that's correct. Also, were you taking, well, it was low. So I'm not sure how accurate that is. Honestly, there's no, guys, it might surprise you to know there's no foolproof test, be it blood, be it stool, hair, anything. They all have their shortcomings. It sucks, but they do. Um, when I look at the HTMA, there are these indirect markers there for iodine deficiency. So we make an assumption based on those indirect markers because minerals, we know how they dance with one another. So we can see if we think you're iodine deficient, your symptoms tell us as well. And unless you're eating loads of iodine, you probably want to take iodine because it's powerfully breast cancer protective. It protects your glands. So we're talking uterus, breasts, ovaries. It's very glandular protective. So men with prostate cancer, iodine. Women with breast cancer, iodine. Iodine is, oh, it's so important. One moment, I'm going to show you a book. Again, I don't, I'm very judicious with, what I believe, but this is a great book because one of my mentors wrote this book. So you might want to grab this book. There's another one too. Can't see it. The Iodine Crisis is the other one. If you don't recommend hormone testing via blood work, yep, how do you know if a woman needs estrogen or progesterone? I thought I explained all that. So if you go back and listen to the replay, I think I was pretty clear. You never go and use blood work to determine if somebody needs hormones. Good practitioners who know HRT and hormones, they know this. You could be getting completely wrong information. I've seen it happen. Women have come to me with blood work, one snapshot in time, one day, and their doctor has gone, "Oh, your estrogen is so high. Get off your estrogen." It's not a good thing to do because your estrogen's doing this. And then meanwhile, she had all these low estrogen symptoms. She should never have had her estrogen ripped away from her. So if a doctor's doing that, they don't know, they don't understand hormones. Your blood work can lie, your symptoms don't. You don't need blood work. You don't need it to determine if you need hormones. I don't know how clearer to get, but I think what the best thing to do would be go back and watch the replay in the first half of the training. When you've got fluctuating hormones, how can you think that that one snapshot in time is the way that progesterone or that estrogen is every single day or every single cycle? You can't. Your symptoms are the gauge. This is the safest gold standard way of supporting a woman on HRT is symptomatology, not blood work. It will gaslight you and mess you up and confuse you and rob you of the stuff that you need every single time. What is your point of view on BHRT delivered vaginally versus a patch versus a pill? Is there a benefit or localized delivery versus systemic? Listen, you do hormones the way that suits you. Um, there are definitely caveats here. So progesterone, it is unfortunately, it's a wonderful hormone. All women can take it, no matter if you've tried it and hasn't agreed with you, you can take it. You just haven't found the right dose or the right delivery method because there's no way a hormone that your body has made for you for decades, all of a sudden you become intolerant to it. It's not the way. So, but progesterone is the hormone that we see the most issues with. So for example, if we were talking about progesterone, a lot of women can't take it orally, but that's okay. You can take it topically. Do not believe the doctors who are telling you that doesn't absorb, that you cannot take it topically. They do not understand the biology. Okay, you absolutely can take it topically and it does work, but you need to get enough on board. Just using 100 milligrams or so, that's not a significant dose. So you can do progesterone vaginally or topically if it doesn't agree with you orally. If it agrees with you orally, you can do it orally, right? Patches, you can do patches, you can do for estrogen patches, creams, gels, but you never, ever, ever do a pill. That's the one caveat. You never do estrogen orally because it can elevate clotting factors. You only ever do it topically, which doesn't elevate clotting factors and is very supportive of our arterial cardiovascular health. How are the tests done overseas? So we have testing facilities in Australia, in North America, in Europe. You don't worry about that. We've got it covered. Here's where we work with ladies, okay? Canada, America, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Europe. Now, sometimes we have people in other parts of the world. You have to email me though. You don't worry about it. We know where we can get the testing and how to get it to you and how you get it back to the lab. You don't have to worry. We give you all that information. Do you include strength training routine? We include as a big bonus, you get all those They were curated for my ladies by a personal trainer, and you get access to them. So, yes, you have those as a routine, upper body, lower body. And I forget how many of each because you don't want to just do the same upper body one every week. You want to mix it up. We've got multiple different upper bodies, lower bodies. But yes, you have those strength training routines. US dollars. Do the costs of tests and supplements included into the cost of course? Absolutely. Oh, the cost of tests, yes. Supplements, no, because I have no idea what you'll need, right? It's not possible for me to know, so I couldn't possibly ever do that. When living in the US, how do the tests work as far as where do you go? Where are they sent? We send you the stool test kit to your house. You do it in the comfort of your own home. You have all the instructions in that packet to send it back to the lab. Very easy. The HTMA, you get the instructions as soon as you join, and you can cut your hair or get a friend to do it, and you just put it in an envelope and send it back. You're not waiting for a test kit for that, but we give you all of these instructions. You don't have to think about that stuff, guys. We take the reins, we take the pressure off you. We've done every thinking. We're not going to make you think about how are you going to get your test back to the lab? How are you going to get your tests? We do all that. That's our job. So don't worry, we give you all the instructions. Plus, we're here if you've got any questions too, right? Kim is amazing. She will answer questions. I can. Michelle, we're all available to you. When you're talking electrolytes and supplements and eating whole foods, how do you know how each are interacting and if we need to supplement? I have heard supplementing magnesium can affect copper. Need to listen to replay. That's our job. And this is why you can't DIY your health. Because you're not wrong, Jody. Let's say, for example, lots of people around COVID were taking loads of zinc. Oh, and they really messed up their copper and they really messed up their iron. That's what we do. We are the pros. We are the experts. We do the testing. Otherwise, you're guessing. And that's when we make that custom nutrient. We make it with, like, if you've got not enough sodium and we give you huge amounts of magnesium, you're going to feel like crap because that sodium is just going to be bonked on the head by that magnesium. That's our job to go, okay, well, we see what she's got here with copper, sodium, potassium, chromium, boron, da da da. We're going to bring in this amount here, not that amount there. And we create it, we customize it, right? But you'll never know if you're not trained in this stuff. I've already on BHRT for 9 months. I have had some improvement with some symptoms. However, my GP is reluctant to add testosterone, which I have heard assists with anxiety, which I'm experiencing, especially prior to my period. She has pretty much told me to go see a gyno. Do I? I just don't want to waste any more time. Listen, here's the thing. If you were my client, we'd be diving into all your symptoms and they would probably tell us something about your dosing of your progesterone and your estrogen. You probably haven't got the correct dose of either progesterone and or estrogen because that testosterone is not the thing that I would ever think about for anxiety. It would be progesterone predominantly, and most people are taking far too little. So I would have far too many questions. I couldn't tell you, yes, go to a gyno, or yes, you need testosterone, because also, how is your sleep? Are you working on your nervous system? Do you do anything to calm yourself? Are you go, 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 go all the time? Do you drink loads of caffeine? Do you not sleep? Like, what's your diet like? Is your blood sugar imbalanced? Because sometimes anxiety is simply getting the blood sugar balance. Like, what's the reason for the anxiety? I don't know if testosterone's the reason. Probably not really the place we go. So as my client, I would be going, well, let's just figure out what the root of the anxiety is before we go try and whack-a-mole and trying all these things, throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Who do we contact to discuss payment plan options? Is there a direct email? So Carly, Kim would have put that info in the chat. Kim, if it's gotten lost, you can just put it back up. There is a checkout page and it lists the 2 payment plan options that we give you. If you have any questions, you can just email me, Tara at tarathornnutrition.com. But those are the payment plans there. Kim just put them up. I am likely getting a hemi or full thyroid removal soon due to medical issue. I think you meant semi. I am also on other pharma. Would this be inside your scope? I have previously been given advice that had I taken action would have miscarried. I am concerned about drug interactions. Can you help with that, or should I consult my pharmacist specialist surgeon? Yeah, I'm not too sure what you're asking. Would this be in my scope? What exactly? Um, Like interactions, are you concerned with I mean, listen, we have a lot of ladies who come to us on various different medications, from GLP-1s to SSRIs to blood pressure meds to lots of other medications too. But we always say, check with your doctor because we're not doctors. So we always say, check with your doctors. And of course, there are some medications that we know full well you can't have certain things with. Just depends on what the medication is. Why is my body rejecting bioidentical progesterone? I've taken it orally, vaginally, cream with different milligrams, all with crazy side effects. I just started a troche. How do you feel about a troche? Angie, I would have to ask questions. So I'd have to say, well, what happened? What did you experience? Why did you start progesterone? What were the symptoms you were hoping to alleviate? What happened when you took it? What were the different milligrams? Lots of questions for me to answer that properly. If a woman was on oral contraception and suffered a clot, is she definite no to having BHRT? No, because oral contraception is not hormones. That's synthetic medication. It's completely different. Remember what I said before? We never take estrogen orally because it increases our risk of clotting factors. Bam, that's what happened. Oral contraception, you had a clot. Topical estrogen doesn't do that. Topical estrogen will not do that. It's your friend. It will protect your cardiovascular system. Is there a replay? There will be one sent out. When you said US dollars, is that for the test or the cost of the membership? The price of the program is in US dollars. Wondering your thoughts on ADHD. Is it really just perimenopause, or is there another neurological component that is co-occurring with peri? I think that with ADHD, there are some women who legitimately have ADHD, but then it can get a lot worse in peri. And I think sometimes, not always, it can be a hormonal thing and changes with all of the changes that occur with peri, even if it's like blood sugar imbalances or sleep deprivation or fatigue or the hormone changes that can exacerbate. And some women think they've got ADHD, but if they did all the things that we teach in the program, they might go, oh, I don't think I have ADHD actually. It just depends. Um, do you ever find through functional testing at a woman's symptoms is actually due to nutrient deficiencies but not hormones at all? You mentioned the nutrient plus gut plus BHRT. Do you approach nutrient repletion and gut health first and then see if symptoms change before BHRT? Everyone's individual, everyone's different, right? So not all our ladies are on BHRT. So it really is a matter of our discussion with you in private and what we find out based on our discussions with you, based on your testing, based on the intake form you send out, you fill out for us, right? So absolutely everybody is different. If you do not need BHRT, you don't need it, right? So yeah, everyone's a different combination. There's always something to work on with nutrients and gut. But I think in 10 years, I found one lady who had a stellar gut report that I was like, wow, this is actually really good in 10 years though. So yeah, it's just individualized so much that the answer is yes, some people aren't on BHRT, but yeah, just depends. The checkout page just says, oh, Kim, it says payment plan available, no specific details or info in the checkout page. I have to leave now. Thank you for your time. I'll find the info. All right. So Kim, have a look at that checkout page. She seems to think that the payment plans aren't there. If that's the case, ladies, don't worry. Kim's amazing. She'll fix that and it will be ready in the next little while. And we'll send you an email too with the replay and you'll have a link, so don't worry. Enter your name and email, she says, on the checkout page and it opens up all of the pricing, including payment plans. There you go. Kimbo's amazing. I'm so sorry, my phone went crazy and I didn't hear the last few answers, including my own. Um, you'll have to watch the replay, Angie, because I don't remember. I'm sorry. And those questions have been like archived now. Sorry, love. I'm taking 100 milligrams of progesterone for 4 months, and 6 weeks into it, my ears started to ring. I've started a low histamine diet, and now I'm taking it every second night to try to help with this. I just started doing that the past couple days. What's your thoughts about this? I also drink a lot of water and electrolytes and such. So again, so many questions I would have. But one thing that's very important to understand, progesterone stabilizes mast cells. Progesterone is really important. So when we move into midlife perimenopause, a lot of women start to get hives, start to get itchy, start to get histamine symptoms. Is part of the reason sometimes is because progesterone is on the decline. 100 milligrams is not a lot of progesterone. So keep that in mind. My ladies who are having histamine symptoms, one of the conversations we have is chat to your provider about significantly increasing that progesterone because it can support that histamine. But don't get it twisted. You also need to support methylation, and methylation, you can look it up, but methylation plays a role in how we clear histamine out of the body. What supports methylation? Nutrients, nutrients, B vitamins, minerals, amino acids. So you need to work on those with histamine issues. And the other thing you need to work on with histamine, gut. Gut is huge because if you've got dysbiosis, you could be driving the production of histamine. So it's not just about the hormones, it's about the nutrients and the gut as well. Can you expand on your comment about how declining levels of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone affect gut integrity and health? Well, I mean, what it's not a lecture on that. So I mean, I'm not sure what else to tell you. I guess when it comes to progesterone, as progesterone declines, your risk of leaky gut increases. So we know that from the literature. So not everyone has a leaky gut. You can only know if you do a leaky gut test. Leaky gut is when the tight junctions of your gut pull apart more than what they should. Okay, and progesterone helps to prevent that from occurring. Progesterone helps with that gut lining integrity. Estrogen helps with that too. Estrogen even plays a role in our stomach acid production. We've got a lot of estrogen receptors in the GI tract. Testosterone supports something called secretory IgA. That's an immune function in the GI tract. So yeah, these hormones all work together in different ways to support overall gut health. I am going to do a podcast episode on the perimenopausal gut. So maybe keep an eye out for that, Alicia, because that's more a better forum for me to dive deeper into it, tell you more of what you sounds like you want to find out. All right. That's it for those Q&As in the chat box. Anything else? Get your questions in before I jump off, my friends. Oh, Angie's question. Why is my body rejecting bioidentical progesterone? Oh, yeah, and so I said that I need to ask you a ton of questions. I need to know why you were taking the progesterone in the first place. What were you trying to achieve with it? I need to know the milligrams you were taking of the oral vaginal cream. I need to know what were all the side effects. So there's a lot of questions. As you can see, there's seldom just a black and white answer, and that's why when I work with ladies, there's so much communication and unlimited support because it's like questions and digging and diving. Troche progesterone, fine if you have it in the right milligrams. Like I'll tell you a story. I have a client who recently she was given a troche of progesterone at 75 milligrams, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a big problem. Sure enough, it was a big problem because it can be very dangerous for some people when they take too little progesterone. It can exacerbate symptoms. It's a weird thing with progesterone, but I've seen it time and time again. You need to take enough. If you take too little, you can make your symptoms much worse. These are all things that all these little tips and things that you guys wouldn't know because this is working with people clinically. It gets you that experience. You're so welcome, everybody. Okay. I think I think we're good. Um, okay. I think we're good. Are we good? Any more questions? I'm taking B12. 1000 vitamin D. I have a good probiotic digestive enzyme. Starting castor oil packs, doing the 100 milligrams. I'm the one that said my ears are ringing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, lots to discover. Do you need B12? Do you even need D3? Lots of people don't, believe it or not. Taking a good pre and probiotic, but is that based on guesswork or is that based on testing, right? So I couldn't really comment to any of that because I don't know if you need those things. But unfortunately, I don't have an answer. I can't just say, yeah, here's your answer and there's your solution. None work like that. Lots of back and forth would need to be had. You're so welcome. I'm just going to look back up here. Okay. I don't think there's anything else there. I'm just going to see. Yeah, Kim's got the checkout page there. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. Book a call with me if you want to. Otherwise, I hope to see you in the TPS very, very soon. Bye, everybody.